Good evening. First thing we need to do is approve the agenda as posted. Any comments? Anybody want to make a motion on it?
Make a motion to approve the meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved agenda. First item on the docket is continued public hearing from August 19th, application for special permit, 84A Groton School Road. You weren't here for this, Kristen? They're not here, it looks like, right?
No.
Okay, so. Long story short version, it's this 84A Groton Road, people bought the house. It was sold to them as a two-family. As I understood it, it was sold as a two-family house.
Right.
When they got the title and the deed back, they find it was a single-family house. It had never gone before the town for the change, for the variation. So this was 10, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this has been non-conforming for all this time. And to cap it off, it's on a leach
12
field.
years ago, what happened?
They
Did this
went ahead
conversion
and did the conversion from a single family to a two-family
without
house.
pulling permits.
Without no
And then
permit.
sold it as such.
Yes.
And the buyers didn't.
They didn't know it until they did the
So-
title. And the title came back as a single-family dwelling.
And they already purchased it?
Yeah,
They didn't do any of the research before they purchased it?
just not. So it didn't come up until they went through the title search. And then they said, okay, this is a single-family dwelling. They came before us to get a variation. We go from single-family to two-family. Lot size problems. We gave them the variance to change it from a single-family to a two-family. And we withheld the second part of it, allowing it to be two-family because we had questions about the leach field, the septic tank, and the capacity. Yeah. So it went before Board of Health. Bridget.
From the association.
Because she had, at first, she had disapproved it because they had a problem with the system. And they made agreements at that point to dig up the septic tank, put a new one in, because it needs to be 2 chambers, there's it needs to be bigger, so on and so forth. And they agreed to do that, plus they needed to put a 4-bedroom restriction on the deed. Can't make the house any bigger. So they gave us a copy of the restriction that they were going to put on the deed, along with the notes from Bridget about what they were doing with the leach field. So, bottom line is that the Board of Health has now signed off on it, so we are free to approve or disapprove the second part of the variance as they presented it. So that's where we stand right now.
So the second part was for.
They'll allow the 2-bedroom, the 2-family versus single-family.
The special permit.
Special permit, yes.
For a two-family conversion.
Yes, because the first,
You gave them
we gave them
permission?
we gave them a variance for the setback. Is that what it was?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, the first part was,
Yeah, to alter a pre-existing non-conforming structure.
yes. And then the second part was allowing to go from the single-family to a 2-family.
Okay, which is allowed with a special permit.
It's allowed
Mhm.
with a special permit, but we held off on that until we had resolution on the septic system.
Good.
Once we got Title V clarification, so we can take it from now. We can vote on it.
So it says that when they had the July 24th meeting, the house was already deed restricted to 4 bedrooms. And now it looks like they're going through the process again.
That's right, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really don't know why. They gave us, well, I don't know why, John. I have no idea. The attorney gave us a copy of the new restriction they're gonna file with the registry of deeds.
Right, but
But I don't-
according
July
to,
24th meeting.
what's that?
What July 24th meeting? I'm just trying to clarify for you.
Well, if you look at page 1 of 2, probably September 10th, 2015.
Yeah.
Cal Goldsmith from GPR explained,
Oh, yeah.
and it was already deed restricted. So I didn't understand the process of that again.
I don't know. It does not make any sense to me. I know that, I didn't think it had a deed restriction on it because it didn't come up at the meeting. They never mentioned it.
Okay, well then,
Well, it would have been, I don't know whether it would have been deed restricted. It was a 4-bedroom house to begin with, or a 3-bedroom house. I think it was a 3-bedroom house, they put the second
another one on.
room over the
Yeah.
garage.
Right.
But it was still a 4-bedroom design leach field. So the septic system was still 4-bedroom.
okay, then.
So that would, you'd be capped by that. Now, whether it was deed restricted or not, I have no idea.
Okay, then just passing over that because they're gonna do it again when they redo this anyway, so
That's
that's
correct.
kind of a moot point.
They gotta dig it up and put the new septic tank in. But then, if the house was restricted by a leach field size, that's not a deed restriction.
Correct.
But they are gonna be,
But they are gonna be deed restricted now.
Yep.
When we allow them to go to 2-family, the deed restriction will say no more than 4-bedroom forever.
Now, have they not done that work yet?
To my knowledge, no.
I think they're working
I
on
think
it,
they're-
it's just, I kind of explained to Sam too, sometimes these projects, when they come before the town, they're working with multiple boards. It's all the same project, but they're all on different tracks
Correct.
to get to the end goal. So I think that's, they had started it, but it hasn't been recorded yet, because they're waiting for this piece, it's like a sequence. So I think that's why they had started, but they hadn't finished.
I don't think they have. I don't think they've dug it up. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
So is it appropriate to grant the variance now or wait until the work is done?
Well, since we don't have Title V authority,
Correct.
only thing we can do is say yes or no, you can change it from a single to a 2-family dwelling. Now, normally our changes would be predicated on everybody who signed off on it, say, okay, fire department said fine, police department said fine, BOS, whomever. Board of Health was the only sticking point in the whole thing, and that was because of the septic system. So once they bought off on the septic system and the agreements that the attorney made with them, okay, they even gave us copies of what they have to do according to Title V, how they have to update it and how they have to upgrade it. So they gave us all that and said, okay, this is what we have to do to be in Title V compliance, which, absolutely, okay. So now, they're going to be, or in Title V compliance for a 2-family dwelling, and it's up to us to say either yes, you can, or no, you
Are
can't.
they going to be in compliance? They're going to be in compliance for a 4-bedroom thing, but for 2 separate dwellings.
That was my sticking
was
point, that was our
concern.
sticking point last time. And going through Title V, I read through it, and we had some conversation with Bridget. What it says is, when you make the conversion from a single family to a 2-family, it doesn't specifically say that, it just says if you have a change of use. So going from a single family primary residence to a rental property, basically, it's a change of use. The only requirement is an assessment. So they did the assessment and said, okay, you need this. So they've met the requirements of Title V. The fact that the new Title V says you're going to have a two compartment tank, and it's going to be 1,500 instead of 1,000 gallon. So once they do that, they'll be in compliance. Yes. So I didn't know that when they were here last time. We had to do the research.
Should we be doing this beforehand?
Mhm.
Yeah,
How do we know how do we know that the new septic tank will pass?
It has, that goes to the Board of Health. She's a septic, and she's an inspector, basically. We don't have that purview. Only thing we can
No,
say
we
is
don't
yes
have
or no,
purview.
you can do a two-family or a single-family.
And she's aware of it, obviously, like I said, it's like multiple tracks, and she's working with both the engineer and the homeowner to get it resolved. So I think, you know, what our focus is tonight, right now, is just converting to a two-family.
When she bought the house, when they bought the house, it had to go through a Title V clearance to begin with. You can't sell a house without a Title V inspection. So it had to pass a Title V inspection before she could even pass papers on it. Bank wouldn't give you a loan on it otherwise,
Unless it was a cash deal.
unless it was a
So
cash
it
deal.
passed on what basis? That it was a four-bedroom?
Four-bedroom home, yes.
A single-family home?
Single-family home.
So-
So the only requirement to go from a single-family to a two-family is to change the size of the septic tank. And that's right out of Title V. That's what they gave us a
The
copy
leach
of.
field will remain.
The leach field will remain the same size. There's a formula for sizing the leach field based on bedrooms, how many rooms in the house, not counting bathrooms and hallways. It's
Yeah.
somewhat convoluted, but what it boils down to, the leach field stays the same size. That doesn't change, because the leach field is sized on how many bedrooms you have and what the perk is, right?
Yeah.
So the difference being the septic system that's there now is a single tank, single compartment tank. And the new system has to be a two compartment tank, so they gotta dig the septic tank up, put a new one in. But the leach field stays the same.
Okay, so leach field passed all
Yeah.
the difficult stuff, now we're talking about
The tank,
A
it goes from one,
mechanical,
it goes from
change.
1,000 single compartment to a 2,000 two compartment, or 1,500 two compartment.
a, okay, thank you.
So the questions on the table for us tonight, to finish out, close this out, is special permit to allow them to go from single family to two family.
And,
No and,
no.
That's it.
So in order to make it a two-family, does it pass, does it, I don't know, does it pass all the other
Yeah.
hoops that we have to go through to,
yeah. It's-
front side yard clearance?
Well, that was the
free
variances
space
we
and all
gave
that
last
stuff?
time.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
okay, so that part, that was the only thing that was sticking.
Yes, the
Is
only thing
that
that was
all
sticking was the
they-
septic
Just to
system.
clarify, so they have all the proper lot size for the two-family? They have the,
We gave them all the
Free
variances
space.
last time.
did we also for the lot size?
Yes. Yep. Because it was an existing non-conforming building and they made it less non-conforming.
So it's less non-conforming, right, okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No?
No, that's fine.
My files are in another car. I couldn't
No,
reach it.
that's what
And I wanted
transpired.
to-
That's what we did.
Yeah, all right.
But the only thing that was a sticking point was the Title V, because none of us knew what had to happen.
And it was unclear. I mean, the
It was
email.
very
we had
unclear.
was-
Yeah, the email was very unclear.
You're right.
All right.
So it's-
That,
They bought off on it.
we're comfortable with that.
Yep.
Something.
Questions? Motions?
All right, I guess then I would motion to grant the special permit for a two-family conversion from a one-family.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, done.
Closing hearing, motion. Yeah.
Motion to close the hearing?
I motion to close the hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Hearing closed. I don't have the notice for this. No, we didn't get it.
Oh, wait, it's on here.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want me to make it bigger?
No, turn so I can read it. All right, Ayer ZBA will conduct a public hearing at 7:10 PM on Wednesday, September 16, 2015, Ayer Town Hall located 1 Main Street, Ayer, Mass. 01432, regarding the application by Ridgeview Realty Trust, Assessors Map 36, Parcel 70 on the Apple Blossom Drive, Ayer, Mass. 01432. Applicant seeks a variance from Section 512 of the Ayer ZBA zoning bylaw to allow a front yard of less than 35 feet. Applicant is seeking 31 and a half feet. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm Steve Mullaney from S.J. Mullaney Engineering, here on behalf of the applicant, Ridgeview Realty Trust, and joining me is Rick Roper, the trustee of the trust, which is both applicant and owner of the property. And in your packets, you should have this plot plan, which we've blown up here for the benefit of everybody to look at to explain the situation. Ridgeview Realty Trust is the developer of the Pingree Hill subdivision.
Right.
And Apple Blossom Drive and Holly Ridge Road are two of the streets within the project. Holly Ridge is a major street. Apple Blossom is a minor street. It's a corner lot. The house was constructed in compliance with the setback on Holly Ridge, but it did not meet the front setback on Apple Blossom Drive. And it was due to human error. After building over 100 houses in the project so far, this is the first one with a setback issue. And as we were able to trace back, what happened was the surveyors had staked out the location for the foundation. Then tree cutters came in and took trees down. Stakes got moved, and when the contractors went back to start putting in the foundation, they were using erroneous stakes to set it in. When we went back to certify the location of the foundation, that's when we discovered the problem. And that's what brings us to you tonight. What we would like to do is to present this to you such that it can be considered a unique situation relative to shape that affects this particular lot, but not necessarily the entire zoning district. And we look at it this way. Apple Blossom, as a minor street, is required by the Ayer subdivision regulations to have a minimum right-of-way of 50 feet and a minimum pavement width of 36 feet and a sidewalk on each side of the street. Well, Apple Blossom and all of the minor streets within the Ridgeview Heights Pingree Hill project has a 60-foot right-of-way. So that means on each side of the street there is already 5 extra feet from where you see the paved road to the house. In addition, the planning board granted a waiver on the pavement width of Apple Blossom. So instead of 36 feet wide, it's only 24 feet wide. So that adds on each side of the street another 6 feet visually. So now we're up to 11 feet visually from the pavement to the house, more than you would normally have on this type of street in the A1 zoning district elsewhere in town. Furthermore, the planning board granted a waiver to allow a sidewalk on only one side of the street, and that sidewalk is on the opposite side of the street. So from a visual standpoint, even though this house is located closer to the legal right-of-way than the zoning bylaw allows, it visually does not appear that way, and if anything, appears further from the pavement than similar streets elsewhere in town in this zoning district. So we respectfully ask the board to consider granting the relief to allow this rather than have to go to the expense of physically move the entire house.
That was what I was going to ask. How did you come up with, what did you measure from? What was your reference point?
The
So-
measurement it's listed on this plan is 34.1 feet and 32.3 feet from the foundation to the right-of-way line. But this was based on the foundation itself. When we add in the thickness of the siding, then we come to that 31.5 feet, which is why we've requested that.
Are you telling me that foundation's capped and you're building the house?
Rick can describe where the status is.
Yeah, it was framed. By the time I get my certified plot plans, I'm normally at that stage. Because in the middle of the summer, everybody's busy. But I stopped the minute it's up. So I mean, it's roofed, there's no siding. Right where it is, I haven't done one thing to it since.
So you stopped when, as soon as it became obvious there was an issue?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have you talked to the building inspector?
No.
Not at all?
Yeah, there's a letter.
Yeah. You guys haven't talked to him?
Sorry.
Regarding this?
Yes.
I haven't. No, I mean, it's,
When, yeah, where did the 31 and a half feet come in? Where does that come from?
Once the siding gets added to the house, this setback, this minimum setback right now of 32.3 feet would get reduced to 31 and a half feet.
All right, I see. I see.
but the siding isn't on yet.
All right. What happens when we have an application, there's a transmittal form that goes around to each of the department heads pertaining to your application. Board of Selectmen, Board of Health, Public Works, so on and so forth. And with all but one, they don't have a problem with it. The building inspector has a real problem with it. Now, first question I need to ask, I saw your certified drawing. My question is, according to the permit, it had to be laid out by a mass licensed land surveyor or a mass PE to establish the compliance before you dug a hole. Did you do that?
Yes, Rick had
Yeah,
his surveyor.
yeah, absolutely.
Mark Wheeler, registered
Twice.
surveyor.
And you have, it's a certified layout?
Layout, yes.
Okay. Because, let me read you what our building inspector sent us for communications. RE map 36, parcel 70 on 10 Apple Blossom Lane. I have reviewed the application package for the above referenced property. The plan clearly shows the building envelope and the setback lines. The foundation shown on this drawing is clearly outside the envelope, creating a front yard zoning violation. This would appear to have been a field error when the foundation was positioned. We agreed to that.
Yes.
I have no idea if the contractor laid out the building themselves or if the surveyor did the layout. However, a condition of the building permit requires that the foundation be laid out by a registered land surveyor. If that was not done, then this is a violation of the conditions of the building permit. See attached sheet 4, which is the building permit I just read you. The lot did not create a hardship in the sitting of the house. This error is unfortunately a costly field mistake, which in my opinion does not make a case for a variance. I feel this request should be denied, the foundation ordered removed, and the reconstruction has to comply with the town bylaws. Signed by Gabriel Valenti. Let's talk about this.
Well, I mean, I think that's a little severe. I mean, we did, I have the lots staked out before I cut the trees. Because I have a self-imposed limit of clearing for the trees. I was concerned when I went for the approval about me clear cutting the project. So then I bring the tree cutter around and show them the envelope. The envelope being any place within these orange stakes is where I can place the house and I'll be in compliance. That being done, then they cut the trees and they yank them. Invariably, 1 or 2 stakes are removed. And, but we can usually extrapolate for them, measuring from the street, et cetera, et cetera. But those stakes were there. They were in there. And I don't know whether we had sabotage, because the same thing happened on lot 27. You see how that's an irregularly shaped lot.
Right.
Because what I do is I stake the lot corners with pink, and I go 50-foot range lines to show me the direction of the lot lines. You know, especially if they're irregular. And so we had a 50-footer, and we had the envelope stakes, orange. It pointed all around this dotted line. And the same thing for this lot. Well, somebody moved this one here and over here. So by the time I placed this one with the stakes, I almost was in non-conformance on that one when I started. So somebody moved some stakes on me, and I was talking to these people earlier about that, and they have suspects. But like I said, 100 houses, and it's not inconsistent with the site out there. All those houses are set back approximately the same. On Holly Ridge, they're exactly the same on that other street. I don't know, that's a $100,000 mistake at least.
Yeah.
You know, I think that Gabe's being a little severe there, and I wouldn't entertain it if it was out of character in any way. Asking for variance, that is.
My only question, in order to put his fears to bed, I would like a certified true copy of the original lot layout.
Yeah.
Give me that. We would like to see that, I would think. Because what that'll do is that'll satisfy one of his notes in his letter.
Yes.
Because if you did not do that, then you violated the building permit, which you're saying you didn't.
No, I give him a proposed plot plan in the package for the application.
I'm
And I
sure.
show him where the house is, what kind of house. Now, at the very beginning of the project approval, which required that we speculate what kind of house is gonna go on what lot throughout the whole project, okay? Which is exactly that, it's proposed. In my house are primarily, custom homes. So on a corner lot, somebody says, I want such and such a house with a walkout basement. Well, that lot slopes backwards, so that house had to face Apple Blossom. So, I mean, if you look at the whole site plan of Ridgeview, every single lot with a typical house, which was drawn in 1998 or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they conform pretty much to the location, but the configuration of the house isn't the same. But I do modify my overall plan with the individual plot plan to Gabe and show him what kind of house, where it's going to face, etc. But I mean, I have a lot of range to put that house in that building envelope, you know. So as long as I'm within that, I've never had a problem, and
Yep.
ever, and I have the right to do that.
Sure you do, I absolutely do.
And however, like I said, I don't know how it happened. 2 or 3 reasons, I'd say.
Well,
Yeah.
So I have
I
a
made a
question.
mistake twice.
When the surveyor does his layout and he creates a document you're referring to.
yes.
Is that not registered with anybody? What happens to that document?
I keep it, no, I give Gabe a rough, a plot plan of the lot number and roughly what kind of house and where it's gonna go on the lot. When I have it surveyed, before I build, they come out, give me the lot corners, and then the building envelope. Okay, and that's what I use.
That's stamped.
No, it's not stamped. No.
The building permit said that construction project must be laid out
Yeah, it was.
by a Mass licensed land surveyor or Mass registered PE to establish zoning compliance. So you've done the layout.
The layout being the building envelope stakes.
Right.
And it was done by a
It was
licensed land
done by
surveyor.
Ross Associates,
And
yes.
it's stamped.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
what you're talking about, John. That's,
I believe the
Well, yeah,
proposed
because
one,
it says a certified foundation plot plan by a licensed land surveyor or a Mass registered professional engineer which certifies zoning compliance is required prior to framing, submit plan to the building commissioner for review.
so what they're saying is they did that,
yes.
and before the foundation people went out there to start digging holes,
Okay.
somebody moved the
So
stakes.
that's what you want to see a copy of?
Yes,
Okay. So it was certified?
yes,
And it does exist, and you need to see that?
yes, I'd like to see this.
Okay.
We need that because that's the only thing that's going to resolve the sticking point in Gabe's letter.
Just saying, I don't know who plotted that out.
It was,
It was the same surveyor.
It was the
who
same surveyor
Mark
that did
Wheeler,
it.
Ross Associates, the same
So the-
surveyor
Right.
located.
the surveyors laid it
I
out.
want to see
somewhere after it was laid out, before they dug a hole, somebody moved markers.
Well, that's true, but it was laid out correctly and it was certified as
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
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 So the mistake comes in when somebody put the marker back or didn't put the marker back, and the people that dug the foundation didn't pull a tape. They just went by whatever was there, apparently.
So is it appropriate to ask what are the ramifications to this?
I would guess, I might be speaking out of line, I would guess to move that foundation back
Frame
3.5 feet.
But
It's
who is
already,
the onus on? I mean, is that something we take into consideration? Or
what do you mean, who's the
Well,
owner?
who's
He's
responsible
not
to
the
do
contractor,
that?
he's the purchaser.
Me.
The-
so
Tree
that,
guys.
so how does it affect the homeowner? That's-
Well, the homeowner won't be able to realize their delivery date in the
Okay.
commitments to the bank.
Okay, I'm just
And it
concerned
can't be
about the
moved.
homeowner.
It's got to be knocked down, everything, lumber, everything. You can't save the lumber even.
Okay, that's fine. I just
And,
wanted.
you know, it's, you know,
So to move a foundation is a major, you
I
can't do it.
understand that, but I
Yeah,
just
you
wanted
rip
to
it down.
know where the responsibility lies. That's all I was
you know,
curious.
I have a contract for sale on this house, and of course, you know, I had consideration when I was building the house because they wanted that walkout, so I knew that I had to keep it close to the front line. And normally, I'm 5 or 7 feet away from that front line.
That's what I was gonna ask you
Always
next.
give myself a buffer, but I don't know what happened in this one.
That was my next question is, what was the decision to build so close to that front line in your building envelope?
That's what it was. I had to keep it as forward as much as, believe it or not, what I was trying to do was keep it high and low. In order to build a walkout basement, I had to kind of, you know, keep it high, but if I kept it high, their driveway would be like that. So it was like sort of a tightrope there. So I knew that I did have to keep it closer than normal, but I mean, I had the stakes there to go by, so I mean,
Were you gonna build right on the building envelope?
no.
Right on the line?
Historically, I'm 7 to 10, 15 feet back throughout the project.
At least you meant on this one.
Huh?
On this one, you were going right to the line.
Oh,
No, I thought I had 3 or 4 feet to play with in there. I thought I'd be 3 or 4 feet inside.
So how?
That's the way we laid it out.
Is that where this comes in? How do we?
3 feet, yeah.
Because the building
have proof of
envelope,
that? How do we-
then, you know,
Well,
By seeing.
this is
Exactly.
normally
the
the
document, the document.
If two
Wanna
pegs
open it to the
move,
public?
then it changes the shape and dimensions of the footprint.
When Rick is saying that the building envelope is staked, what he is referring to is
Not the houses.
the setback from every lot line. So whatever the front yard setback is, whatever the side and rear setbacks are per zoning. So if front setback is 35 feet and side, they get the zoning, should we say it's 20 feet or 15 feet for the rear, those are the lines that are marked, and that creates the envelope. So he's free to move.
Okay.
He could put it all the way back to the
For
corner.
everyone.
That's what I wanted to know.
No,
how
it
much-
was a
It
terminology.
goes by setback, you're saying,
By
that's
setback.
the envelope?
That's the envelope.
Unless
Unless
there's
it-
some other issues with drainage or.
Or wetlands or
wetlands.
something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Kristen, what were you asking?
There's public hearings. Do you want to open it up to the public? Is there anything to say?
Are you public input?
Pardon?
Are you public input, sir?
Yes, I'm gonna butter to this piece of property.
Would you like to add to this?
And
No,
A
I'm
butter
just-
how?
Name
You
and address.
27?
No, where?
I'm
back.
straight in back of 29, in back of lot 29. There's a,
Retention pond, yeah.
all sorts of drainage that goes on between us, but, I mean, I'm a long way from this house, but I just wanted to see what this process was. We've only been in town for years, bought in this development, wanted to see how this all worked out. And I have no objections to this. In fact, I'd like to see it get done so the noise will go away quicker.
When you say long way, more than 500 feet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his property's
Okay, I
within
just-
300 feet, so that's why they're butters, but.
Can I ask you something?
I was just wondering what the original,
Yeah,
um,
why was it so close to the
why was
property
it so
line?
close, and how do we know what that
Well,
original?
the original, when we go
Well,
by
that-
the drawing that they
yeah.
gave us, the certified drawing they give us, that's what was
And
originally
that's-
laid out.
And do we, and that's what you're asking
That's,
for?
yeah, they're gonna give, I asked for that, yes.
Okay. So were we gonna continue? Have this continue?
No, the document exists, they can bring it in, we can, I think we can.
Do it pending.
Do a pending?
Conditional.
Yeah.
A conditional?
Yeah, we could approve it and just, obviously, I gotta write it up, he's gotta sign it. Steve, you know, I have a good working relationship, he can bring it in, or Rick can bring it in, and before Sam signs it, he won't sign it until he gets it, basically.
Conditionally approved.
Right.
So
the-
signature.
The question really is, we have our bylaws that say you're supposed to have this much setback. Is it an earth shaker to lose 3 feet? Is it a showstopper? This is, I wouldn't even consider it being deliberate. I think it was a human error. So do we tear the house down and move it 3 feet? That just doesn't make sense.
I think
Rob?
also environmental impact of, not being able to reuse the building materials that are already been
I
used.
find it rather disturbing that your foundation is so close to your, I mean, it's right on your building envelope, and that you did not have diligence to go and make sure that was resurveyed, and especially knowing that you had a history of stakes being moved there, and then you go and put this thing up there without.
I didn't have a history of stakes being moved. Only
Well, you just
in this
told me.
in this instance, no,
Us.
right here on these 2 lots. Not before. It's just occurred on this property.
I mean, before I pour a foundation, I make damn sure it was in the right place, especially if it was so close to the envelope that was just complying with the zoning laws.
Well, after as many as they put up there, and they haven't had any problems, everything had been met.
But he also said he had to put one as close to the line as this one.
Yeah, I understand why.
He's had some very close to the line.
Yeah.
There's been some very tight lots. Most of them are not, but whenever they've been close to the setback, it's always at least a foot beyond the setback as a buffer.
I understand what you're saying.
I am diligent.
It's
I'm very diligent.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
You know, and
measure
You
twice,
ought to be,
cut
because
once.
you'd stand to lose a lot of money here.
I am. This is the first time it's happened, and I do believe it was sabotage there.
And you've done a number of them.
I did, and you know what? I invite you out there to view all the houses on Holly Ridge, and challenge you to pick out which one's closer to the street. Okay, because don't forget that's a small street, and it's less pavement, and it's way back from the pavement. You know, like on Holly Ridge. So
Rick, I walk that property almost every day. We make a big loop there, and I wasn't sure which house it was, and I've gone by it several times. I had to talk to Ken, the plumber there, to ask him. I says, "Which one is it?" I thought it was going to be the one that you hadn't built yet on lot. What is it, 28?
yes.
That's what so it's not obvious at all that it's moved forward. Because seems like there's a lot of room between the road and the house.
I think Apple Blossom, the taking should have been 50 feet on that street to begin with. You know, like it normally is. Anyway,
What do you think?
you did.
I mean,
Anybody?
personally, I'd say the track record, just going by their application, they've built over 100 houses. This is the first issue they've had that I'm aware of. Do I think that maybe that there could have been, another check-in place? Maybe, but they built 100 of them. This is the first issue they've had. It's not a pattern from everything that I can tell. But that's my 2 cents.
John? Your thoughts?
I don't think it would be reasonable to deny.
Rod?
I don't like to see this developer has had we've had some struggles with the Conservation Commission allowing proper drainage, on-site drainage and all that. And it's, I don't know, in this town, maybe it's just a lot of frustration I have with the shoehorning of things. And this, on first thought, is another shoehorning exercise. However, I see from the point of waste and, and I will have to take the board will have to consider that this was an honest mistake, and this was an attempt to shoehorn and just starting to just get a little out of their boundary here. So that's all. That's all.
Kristen? What do you think?
The rest of the lots are already set out, correct? So it's not an attempt to squeeze in an extra few feet on another lot to fit in another home.
Oh, no,
They're
no,
40,000
that's all set
square
in
feet
granite.
lots.
Yes, they'd have to come back.
It's just set in granite.
Just
The lot-
asking.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Because, I know what Ron is, speaking of. I've been to a lot of those meetings, and I do think it was probably accidental. It's not a huge, we're not talking about, 10 or 20 feet. I think that the waste of the materials that have already been used would be more detrimental.
And frankly, I mean, from a financing standpoint, if someone's purchased this house, they have a purchase and sale agreement, there are deadlines that need to be met in order to close that purchase. They more likely than not make a deposit. This is a future resident. This has nothing to do, no offense, with the developer.
Right.
It's someone who will live in town, and
Yeah.
I think that's something we should consider too.
Yeah. So I'm inclined to give it an approval, conditional approval, based on proof that this was in fact laid out, staked out by a licensed surveyor. If we get our hands on that document, a dated document, I would,
You make a motion?
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion for conditional approval of
Variance of 31 feet, 31 and a half feet.
variance of 31 and a half feet along Apple Blossom Drive, map 36, parcel 70, upon receipt of the
Pending receipt
pending receipt,
of the certified true copy of the layout.
right, stamped and dated.
Fair enough?
Thank you.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time this evening, and we'll get that to you right away.
Great, we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to close the hearing?
I motion to close the hearing.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion item. Zoning bylaws updates. Has anybody looked at it?
Existing,
The new, the proposed.
the old proposed.
Yeah, the old proposed. There, what we have currently was adopted in '73, current up to 2006. The reorganization final zoning bylaw reorganization was in 2009. Now, supposedly, the new zoning bylaws were taken to the town in 2011 and tabled because they couldn't get them put through. They're on the website. It's the original 2011. They're on the planning board's website.
Right.
They're under, it says 2011, and I had told the planning board chairman that we really needed those updated to 2015 before we even considered taking it to the town. What they did do, you remember that?
Yep.
Okay. What they did do is they updated the setback charts and layouts. Those are updated in 2015. Now, what I haven't started doing yet was going through section by section,
Likewise.
comparing the one they want to take, the proposed, against what we've got now.
Right.
And that's what we need to do. We need to look at that. So,
Do we have both copies in a Word document?
they're both PDFs.
No,
Yeah.
We could probably get it.
in Word, and then just do a compare.
Well, that would, if they were both laid out the same, but they're not. That's the problem.
But
So
they-
everything's gonna look like
They
a change.
did hire a consultant, so I don't know that we could ask the consultant from 2011 to
Well,
say, hey, can you
the
give us-
consultant from 2011 updated to 2009. That's what they did. They were taking the 2009
Right.
updated
Yeah, that's how they
at
do it.
2011,
Yeah. Mhm.
but that was 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, right?
Right. And no
So-
one's brought it forward since. So
Nobody's brought it forward, so I'm sure there's been a change. Now, if they hire another consultant to update it to 2015, I get on board with that. But to take the 2011 and try and pawn it off as 2015, I can't buy into that.
So here's the deal, though. I think that the planning board, I mean, one of their main tasks as a planning board is to write the zoning bylaw. I don't know what their plan is as far as, are they bringing it to town meeting? And they haven't hired another consultant to look at it. So, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want you people to waste your time reviewing 2011 if they're planning on hiring a new consultant. I don't think he's going to push that 2011 one at town meeting. My sense.
I think he is.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
Because my sense is they gotta hire another consultant, they have to do public hearings.
Who's
He-
the chair of
Jeremy.
planning board right now?
Jeremy.
Okay.
He told me that it was updated. The setbacks are updated. They're tab A, tab B, tab C. Those are all updated in 2015 according to the website. But the zoning bylaws themselves are still the 2011.
2009.
Oh yeah, updated in 2011.
So, well, no, the correct on-record zoning bylaw that we're using right now is the 09 version. The 11 is
Because
proposed.
11 never got.
11 never got adopted.
That's right, never, it was,
So when I say that we need an amendment from zoning bylaw, it's the 2009. Right, because nothing has been changed at town meeting. That's the only way you can do it, is by town.
Jeremy told me that it had been it was updated to he's just, changed the dates and we're good to go. No. So what I had talked about us doing was looking at it,
Right.
because if we're gonna go to the town meeting and agree to this, I damn sure wanna know what's in it.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't, my sense, again, we have special town meeting coming up in a month, end of October. They have to submit their application, like their their warrant articles by next Friday. There's no way they have a zoning. There's no way they have a zoning bylaw.
they haven't even had a hearing.
Well, and they don't have a consultant either. So for the foreseeable future, I would say at least until next spring, we're using the 2009 bylaws. Doesn't mean we shouldn't update them. I think we should,
We should.
from a staffing perspective.
But we don't have to scramble because it's coming.
No,
up.
it's not our job to
I know.
change these. It's not our job to update them.
But I don't want to
But
vote
it is
on
our job,
something
that's right.
that I don't know what the difference is.
That's absolutely right.
So what we could do is take a slower approach and everyone, this sounds awful, gets assigned a section. to compare,
I don't have a problem doing that. What I think we
and
need,
to make edits to what, you know, you think would be a
Then we can open that to discussion.
we
Right.
as the ZBA, because we're doing this,
right.
we need to be sure that we're going to do the right
We can
thing.
back it too.
I agree with that.
I feel like it's appropriate for the direction the town's going in, and, you know, also as voters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that. I mean, there's how many sections?
So,
And 11.
Yeah.
When did this one get sent around? I didn't see that one.
11
That's new
sections.
to me.
What?
The discussion items that you're looking
It's on
at.
the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Discussion items?
There's nothing in the packet for it.
Ah,
No,
It's a
it's
standing
just,
item.
it's a,
okay. I'll come back.
we put it on the agenda for every meeting so we can talk about what we were gonna do and how we were gonna do it.
I gotta go back to the agenda.
So, I mean, if everybody wants to take a section and start working on it, I mean, we've got a couple months.
Sure.
So,
I would just, to make your lives easier,
Yeah.
before you start, I can check with the old file and see if there's any, the consultant had to have written a narrative to give you general
you
broad
would
strokes.
think that there's
Yeah.
someone said, okay,
Yeah.
this paragraph we changed to this, this we changed
Yeah.
to that.
Like a revision history.
One
Right.
would
Like you would do in
think.
any document
So
controls.
before you guys start doing your homework,
Yeah.
you know, let
Let's
me
check
check
in
on
on that.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can email that as
Yeah.
an informational, hey, this is what I've had, take a review, we can discuss it in an open session, but
Yep.
before you guys start burning the midnight oil, you know,
Yeah.
time's
Well, that's
precious,
fair. I
and
mean-
you're volunteers. So,
Thank you for helping us.
thank
avoid
you, yeah,
personal,
yeah, let me
benefits.
check on that, and I'll get an answer on that, you know, within a week or so, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
But, I mean, obviously, look at the zoning right at your leisure.
Yeah. I mean, I thought there would have been one.
Stimulating reading when I first
yeah.
was appointed, right? I was like, oh.
But they will have to
Wait
do
till I
public
get to
hearings.
section 1,
And I think it
3.4.
would, like a united front, at least from this board, in this room, if Sam or whoever's the chair at that point comes and says, look, we deal with this is what we're seeing, you know, it makes the zoning board, you know.
And I think
If
We
the
should-
planning board
yeah.
takes it to the
Yeah.
town meeting and the zoning board says, we don't know shit about this,
Right,
it's not gonna go well.
right,
No,
exactly.
That'd be foolish.
Right,
yeah,
agreed.
100%.
All right, good.
So I'll look into that and I'll be in touch. for sure.
Okay, good. One other question, it's not on the agenda, but it came up again. Do we have a volunteer for comprehensive plan committee?
First meeting is the 29th. We're gonna be meeting once a month, Tuesday nights at 6. So gonna be the fourth Tuesday of the month. That's the off week of the selectmen. It's at 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock, if that makes it more.
Where? You
Here,
know?
right in this room.
There's 13 people on that committee.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would love to, but I work until 9 on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
John?
I just don't feel I have a grasp of what all that is, and I'm doing, if I'm ready for that.
Comprehensive Plan Committee, we did it in New Hampshire, but we call it a master plan.
And other towns in Mass call it master plans too. This is new to me.
What it is,
Same thing.
it's our long-term plan for the town,
10-year plan.
10-year plan. And what you're supposed to do, the way we did it, I was on a planning board in New Hampshire, when we did it there, we had a master plan, and what we did is, once we enacted the master plan, we just updated it every year and kept pushing it forward for the 10-year plan. So when the state says, where's your 10-year plan? Here it is. When'd you update it? Last year. Done. So what it is, it's the long-term goals and objectives for the town. Now there's one representative from each one of the boards, and there's 7 citizens,
Seven boards and 6 citizens.
something like
And
that.
then
So it's a
Robert-
large group.
Robert and myself.
We are-
and Mark Letchell staff it, and David, our economic development director.
We are, what's the word, advisory.
Yeah.
We don't do anything, we're just advisory on it. So,
We hire a consultant. There's no you don't need technical knowledge of master plans by any stretch of the imagination. It's more, we're gonna be working with a consultant, to craft a new 10-year plan. Our 10-year plan is up, master plan, comprehensive plan. The state, when you're applying for state grants, they want to see that you have one on the books. Traditionally, as I understand it in this town, they're shelved. We don't
Yeah.
want to do that. We don't want to waste everyone's time and efforts and money to put something on the shelf. You know, Robert is taking that very seriously, and I can speak. We've done a million pre-planning meetings, so when we kick off the big meeting, that we hit the ground running. We don't want to lose momentum once we start.
I'm not putting you under the gun, I'm just looking for volunteers. I mean, this is what we do. If none of you guys do it, it defaults back to me. I mean, just,
So, if this is a 10-year plan, and they meet once a month, for how many months they do that before they have a 10-year plan?
I would guess it should go to the fall town meeting next year. That would be my guess.
And then the committee becomes idle for a couple of years because
Then the committee just disbands.
Yeah.
oh, it disbands. and
Because
then-
at that point, it's up to the planning board to update. This committee, the way I understood it, is formed to create this document that hasn't been done in 10 years.
Well, and we have one, but it's.
10 years old.
And have you looked at it?
No, I've never seen it.
And
It
the
looks
problem-
like almost none of it was ever enacted
Well,
or.
I would say about 90% of the recommendations at the end were for the planning board.
Right.
Now, this is before we had
That's
a
exactly
different,
what I'm saying.
two different chairmen. It wasn't embraced.
Right, not at all.
The current chairman seems to see the value of doing it and wants to be a participant. Before, the planning board didn't seem to embrace.
They didn't care.
Yeah. So,
And it has a lot of changes, which I think were good if you look at where the town is moving
Yeah.
towards. Like, a lot of it was like this idea of increasing the size of housing lots. You know, you have, you know, sort of old Ayer where lots were really, really, really small. And, you know, one of the things was, you know, increasing lot sizes, increasing, you know, front, like doing things like that, you know, creating more green space, creating, you know, and a lot of that just,
it's big picture, like
Big picture
50,000 feet.
Yeah.
Totally opposite what we do
Interesting.
here.
yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So is this, they've already started this process?
No, September 29th is the first meeting.
Oh, it's going to be the first
The
meeting?
first official kickoff meeting, yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, at this point, I don't know what I'd have to offer this committee, but
Well, you live here, so that's huge. We want to know, like, what, you know, what you want to see.
okay, I just
Yeah.
didn't want to jump on a train that's 4 stations ahead of me.
No, no,
You
no.
know what I'm saying?
We have folks volunteering from the community that have never sat on the board or commission before. And Mark Wetzel, our DPW director, he's a project engineer. He's really great at visioning and what's the next step for the town. And in 10 years, you know, we have these big goals, and you know, it's something to look forward to and work towards.
It's
And-
like, okay, we're gonna, one of the goals is to run new water mains all over town. How are you gonna break it down into what, this section this year, this section next year? It's your long-term plan. How are you gonna do it? What roads you're gonna pave?
What considerations do they have to face? Do they have to face monetary considerations and where the money's going to come from to do
No.
this? So what is it exactly?
It gives the finance committee a target.
To say, what would we like to see?
Yes.
As a
Now,
community,
I
it's
don't know.
community representatives, basically.
I don't-
I
Where
don't-
would you like to see your town?
I don't know
What
how-
would you like it to look like?
I don't know how Ayer does it, but when I, like I said, when I was in New Hampshire, when we did it there, we would lay it out and say, okay, we didn't consider finances. Wasn't part of the deal. We said, okay, in 5 years, we would like to have the town hall rebuilt because it's becoming, the maintenance costs are going up. So you laid it out, okay, in the 5th year, you're going to do this. In the 6th year, you're going to put up a new garage. In the 7th year, you're going to replace the fuel tanks. Whatever we were doing, this is the direction that we wanted to take the town. We didn't consider the money. That didn't even fall into it. The master plan is a living document. It allows you to float, okay? If you have excess money this year, you might do something early. If you run in short, push it out. What did you do? How did you do it according to your master plan? Your master plan says in 2018, we're going to repave Main Street. You might not be able to do it in 2018 because of bad weather or economic turndown or whatever the case is. You just push it out. It's like I said, it's a living document, so it's a target for the town to shoot for, and that gives the finance committee something to work with. Okay, we're looking at funding this year, and they can't do that until it hits the warrants. But the master plan gives you some way to go. That's what it's for.
Visioning. Yeah.
Wasn't the beautification of downtown part of that? Like some stuff,
Yeah, some stuff got done
yeah.
regardless, but we didn't have buy-in from every board and commission, which was the problem. And, Robert, he's been here for 5 years. But before that, there was a town administrator on cycle, pretty much. So, you have some consistency from the administration standpoint and buy-in with our department heads. Every department head meeting, we're pushing this. We've asked for it, that each department, what's your 5-year plan, what's your 10-year plan, in this big picture. So, like the police department, they're like, well, obviously we're a supportive role.
Right.
But if our facilities director even submitted, so if we say we would like, wireless hotspots in all our downtown streetlights, like a big goal. Like it's just something that when we upgrade or we do anything with our infrastructure or programming, it gives us a point of reference. Like, hey, the master plan was adopted, town would like to see this. It may not all be feasible or affordable, but at least it gives the town administration something to go towards. So it's not all just muddled. It's just a visioning project.
So it's just creating a wish list with, we can't worry about what it costs because it costs what it costs. But if you're going to do something, this is what we'd like you to do.
Yes,
Is that
exactly.
basically the
That's
concept?
basically it.
And the state mandates that you have one pretty much.
When we go to get grants, they say, well, where does this fit in your master plan?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with the money?
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. And
Well, I think it would be a
Well,
learning
that's
experience
not
for
it.
me.
It would be.
it was great.
Janice is on it, and she's been trying to talk me into it for
Oh,
the
see, that's
last
the big problem.
Yeah. She's been trying to talk me into it for 2 days. She says, come on, you need to get on it with me. I said,
And you want to go home and say, I got it.
No. I'm asking all of you if someone is interested, like I said, because if no one is interested, then it defaults back to me.
I would do it. No joke, I would do it. I think it's very interesting. I think it's a cool idea. I like that sort of long-term thinking of, hey, if I'm going to live here for a long time, I want to.
Have some say in what happens.
I work late.
And
Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
You have the luxury, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I have to be there for my town administrator,
Right.
office roles.
Yeah.
So if someone can't make it, you can't make it, Sam, you can't make it, I can always just give you a report at our next meeting. Hey, at the last comprehensive plan, this is what we discussed, do you have any feedback? And I'm staffing the committee, so I can also bring that back. So you guys are in a unique, lucky spot, I would say.
Michael, what do you think?
I mean, I definitely think it's interesting, and I'm glad we've talked about it because it's sort of enlightened me to what it actually is. I mean, if no one else is interested in it,
Well, I don't think it's a question of interest. I think it's a question of commitment. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I really think, and I have nothing to go on other than what I've learned historically. I figure it'll be about a year. I think it'll be about a year. Because this comprehensive plan is going to have to go to the town. There's no way it's going to make it in the fall or in the spring, so it's going to be next year.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Easily next year.
I think
So-
we're targeting, like you said, fall of 16.
So that tells me it's about 10 or 11 meetings. Okay, maybe it doesn't.
I can do 10 or 11 meetings.
If you'd like to.
I will.
Okay, thank you, John.
There we go, John.
All right. And
Thank you, John.
I would just maybe do a motion to appoint him,
I motion to appoint John to the
comprehensive plan.
Comprehensive Plan Committee.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, John.
There you go, John.
Thank you.
I would be happy to. Like I said, I see.
I've seen your plate.
It's pretty full.
All right, good, thank you. One thing left on the, is to approve the minutes, meeting minutes of August 19th. That was a busy night.
Yes, it was. But we buzzed through it, though.
Yeah, we did.
I was thinking about it when I got home that night. We clipped right along.
I sent them out, September 3rd for review. If you saw anything glaring.
I
I
did
move
not.
that we approve the meeting minutes of August 19th.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Do you have a copy for me to sign?
I sure do. I like to get it right up on the website.
There you go.
One day. I don't like to wait around.
Yeah, they're not draft either.
That's right. Those are the real things.
Anything else? With that,
Thank you.
I motion to adjourn.
Second on motion to adjourn.
Somebody second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.
8:07, pretty good.